When most people think about artificial intelligence, they think about products. They think about ChatGPT, they think about Gemini, they think about Claude, they think about AI image generators, they think about chatbots. And that's understandable. Those are the parts of AI we can see. But history teaches us something important. The most powerful parts of a technological revolution are often invisible. Most people don't think about electricity grids when they use a smartphone. Most people don't think about undersea cables when they browse the internet. Most people don't think about semiconductor factories when they open an app. Yet those invisible systems often determine who holds power. And the same thing may be happening with artificial intelligence. For the last few years, the public conversation around AI has been dominated by models. Which model is smarter? Which model is faster? Which model can reason better? Which model has the latest breakthrough? Those questions matter. But they may not be the most important questions anymore because the AI race is gradually shifting. The focus is moving away from what AI can do and toward who controls the foundations that make AI possible. Every major technological revolution eventually creates a hierarchy. At the top are the products people use. Beneath those products are platforms. Beneath the platforms is infrastructure. And beneath infrastructure are strategic resources. The deeper you go into the stack, the fewer players exist, and the more power becomes concentrated. Artificial intelligence is beginning to follow the same pattern. Millions of people may use AI. Thousands of companies may build AI applications. Hundreds of companies may build AI platforms. But only a small number of organizations control the most critical layers underneath. And that is where the real power shift may be happening. To understand this shift, we need to look beyond AI models because AI does not exist in isolation. Every AI system depends on an enormous amount of infrastructure: data centers, cloud networks, advanced chips, energy systems, specialized talent, massive capital investment. Without those components, even the most advanced AI model cannot exist. And unlike software, these resources are not evenly distributed. They are concentrated, sometimes extremely concentrated. Consider the role of advanced semiconductors. Modern AI systems require extraordinary amounts of computing power. Training a frontier AI model can require thousands of specialized chips operating simultaneously. These chips are not ordinary computer components. They are among the most complex products ever manufactured. Only a handful of companies in the world can design them. Even fewer can manufacture them at scale. And building new production capacity requires years of investment. This creates something economists call a bottleneck, a critical point in the system where control becomes highly valuable. For decades, oil shaped global power. Countries competed for access. Industries depended on it. Governments built strategies around it. Today, many analysts are beginning to ask a different question. What if compute becomes the strategic resource of the AI era? Because every AI breakthrough ultimately depends on compute. Every new model, every enterprise deployment, every AI startup, every intelligent system, the demand for computing power continues to grow, and the organizations controlling that capacity may gain enormous influence. This is one reason why governments are becoming increasingly interested in AI. Not simply because AI creates new products, but because AI may reshape economic competitiveness itself. Countries are beginning to view artificial intelligence as strategic infrastructure, much like energy, much like telecommunications, much like transportation networks. The concern is straightforward. If AI becomes essential to future economic growth, what happens when critical AI infrastructure is controlled elsewhere? That question is driving national AI strategies around the world. The result is a new concept gaining attention: AI sovereignty. The idea that nations may want greater control over the technologies that power their economies. This does not necessarily mean building everything independently, but it does mean reducing strategic dependence, because dependence creates vulnerability, and vulnerability creates risk. The more important a technology becomes, the more seriously governments think about who controls it. Artificial intelligence is rapidly reaching that threshold. At the same time, corporations are pursuing their own race for control. Major technology companies are investing billions into AI infrastructure. Data centers are expanding. Cloud capacity is growing. Chip purchases continue to increase. The scale of investment is extraordinary. But these investments are not simply about improving products. They are also about securing position, because infrastructure creates leverage, and leverage creates power. This creates an interesting contrast. Most AI headlines focus on competition between models, but beneath those headlines is another competition, a competition for resources, a competition for capacity, a competition for infrastructure, a competition for influence. And this deeper competition may ultimately determine the outcome of the visible one, because superior infrastructure often enables superior products, not the other way around. History offers many examples of this pattern. Railroads created economic power. Electric grids created industrial power. Telecommunications networks created information power. The internet created platform power. Artificial intelligence may create infrastructure power. The lesson remains remarkably consistent. The organizations controlling foundational systems often gain advantages that extend far beyond technology itself. This is why the future AI landscape may not be defined by a single winner. Different layers of the stack may produce different leaders. Some companies may dominate applications, others may dominate infrastructure. Some nations may excel in research, others may excel in manufacturing. Some may control capital, others may control talent. The future is likely to be more complex than a simple winner-take-all story. But complexity does not eliminate competition. If anything, it increases it. The next decade could see increasing competition around several critical resources: compute, energy, semiconductors, cloud infrastructure, advanced manufacturing, specialized talent. Each of these areas may become more strategically important as AI adoption expands, and each represents a potential source of influence. The companies and countries that secure these resources may be better positioned to shape future outcomes. This is why the AI story is becoming larger than technology. It is becoming an economic story, a strategic story, a geopolitical story. The conversation is no longer just about innovation. It is increasingly about control. Who builds the infrastructure? Who owns the capacity? Who sets the standards? Who creates dependency? Who captures value? Those questions may define the next phase of the AI era. Most people see the products. Few people see the power structures beneath them. Yet, those power structures often determine the future. The smartphone era was not defined solely by devices. It was defined by ecosystems. The internet era was not defined solely by websites. It was defined by platforms. The AI era may not be defined solely by models. It may be defined by infrastructure. And that brings us to the most important question. When historians look back at this decade, what will they conclude was the real AI race? Will it be the race for better models, or will it be the race for the infrastructure that made those models possible? Because the future of AI may not belong to whoever builds the smartest system. It may belong to whoever controls the foundations beneath it. And those foundations are being built right now.